Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives reveals that Alex Kyriakis showed up in Marlena Evans' office and thanked her for meeting with him so late. Xander rejects Sarah's bedroom offer Jada's cheater bust story. Marlena guaranteed Alex that it was fine and got reports on Teresa Donovan being the justification for this late-night treatment meeting. After Alex discussed Teresa's new slip and how Brady Dark assisted him with dealing with her, he conceded Teresa pursued a rash choice to fly back to California. Alex scared him when he persuaded Teresa to stay because he needed her. In the past with different ladies, Alex was utilized to just needing them. This was different from Alex's previous love affair with Stephanie Johnson. Alex was taken aback as the realization began to sink in because Marlena thought it sounded like Alex was in love. Alex contemplated whether he ought to request that Teresa wed him, yet Marlena asked him to take as much time as necessary and perceive how the relationship created. Next on Friday's Days episode, Teresa appeared at the emergency clinic and almost pulled out of strolling over to Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans. Kayla spotted Teresa and waved her over, so Teresa in the end opened dependent upon her apiece. After Teresa discussed her slip and how she was resolved not to allow it to reoccur, she thought about succumbing to Alex. In the beginning, Teresa had just been using Alex to make Brady jealous. After that, he became a distraction. Presently Teresa had certified affections for Alex, yet she discussed feeling regretful for previous slip-ups. Kayla recommended setting things straight would assist with clearing Teresa's heart, so Teresa concluded that is what she expected to do. After that, Alex and Teresa had an awkward moment while they were still considering the advice they had received. At home on Friday's DOL show, Xander Cook made Sarah Horton a conventional Scottish dinner for consumes night and tested her about her day at the emergency clinic. Since Sarah really buckled down, Xander pushed her to request a raise. Sarah became awkward over discussing cash since that had been the wellspring of her issues with Xander previously. In any case, Xander streamlined things since he wasn't suggesting that Sarah wouldn't contribute similarly or that they couldn't deal with Victoria Horton Cook. The dinner refocused with some coquettish minutes and a jug of wine that was finished. They took Sarah's advice and drank whiskey from the unique Celtic cup that Xander had mentioned. Until Sarah planted a fiery kiss and asked if they should take this to the bedroom, Xander began reciting a love poem. In spite of the fact that Xander conceded he'd appreciate that, he didn't figure they ought to since he was making a solid attempt not to wreck this. Sarah expressed gratitude toward Xander for thinking plainly for the two of them and embraced him, however, there was as yet a really charged vibe between them. As Sarah hit the sack and left Xander in the parlor, it was clearly extreme for them to oppose enticement. When Xander's telephone rang, a misshaped voice uncovered that they had some work for himself and believed him should dispense with somebody. At the bar on Friday's Days episode, Stephanie apologized to Jada Tracker for being late and joined her at a table. Rafe Hernandez appeared with a late expression of remorse of his own before they generally began jabbering about humiliating individual stories. Jada inquired as to whether Stephanie was all the while avoiding men, so Stephanie said she was, however Rafe detected that she delayed. Stephanie let it out was hard, particularly when she worked with two of her exes. That prompted Stephanie discussing her previous fire from Seattle, so Jada referenced that she lived there for some time. Stephanie reviewed Jada telling her that previously and wished they'd been in contact in those days. While Rafe was getting drink tops off, Jada told Stephanie that Rafe was enchanting, kind, entertaining and steadfast in no way like her lying, deceiving ex. Stephanie inquired as to whether that is which tore up Jada's marriage, so Jada made sense of that she found a gems charge on their Visa charge and her hubby hadn't gotten her any gems in months. At the point when Jada faced him about her doubts, she said her better half blew up on something else altogether. Jada realized then that her marriage had ended. At a certain point, Stephanie moved back from the table to take Everett Lynch's, Blake Barris, call. Everett needed Stephanie's assistance investigating an article, however, she said it'd need to hold on until morning since she was at the bar with companions. After Stephanie requested that Everett go along with them, he appeared to be energized over the thought and said he was coming. When Everett showed up and saw Jada sitting with Rafe and Stephanie, he looked stunned. Jada and the others didn't see Everett in the entryway, so he slipped back out and messaged Stephanie that he was unable to make it. They could tell Stephanie was disappointed when she told Rafe and Jada. Later on Friday's Days episode, Stephanie talked with Everett via telephone once more, so he acted odd and called her to his suite to discuss something that couldn't pause. At the point when Stephanie appeared, Everett said they ought to plunk down and declared that he had an admission to make. Everett's marriage rocks Stephanie, Lucas, the priest, Teresa, and Alex's gamble. Days of Our Lives uncover that Marlena Evans will develop progressively worried about John Dark and his agitating way of behaving recently. John been experiencing issues dozing and appears to be jumpier than expected, however Marlena can see that he would rather not trouble her with anything. Marlena will feel like Steve Johnson may be a superior wellspring of help in this present circumstance, so she'll connect with him for help. Days spoilers say Steve will readily consent to help, however he won't give Marlena reports on his own interests about Constantine Maliunis and the mysterious he could uncover about John's past as the pawn. While Lucas Horton is in prison, Kate Roberts Brady will worry about him because he asked too many questions to the wrong people. Harris Michaels' plans for Lucas blew up since Clyde Weston had his jail hooligans fight back, however essentially Lucas ought to be more secure now that he's being moved to another area. DOL fans will review that Harris didn't uncover that area to Rafe Hernandez or Jada Tracker, so that protected the astonishment of where Lucas will wind up. Obviously, Lucas had all the earmarks of being in a religious community in the Day of Days promotion, so it appears to be that is where Lucas will act like a priest and hide away for his own security. Regardless of whether Kate knows the subtleties of Lucas' exchange, she'll keep on stressing over her child and will rest on Roman Brady for help. Different Days spoilers say Alex Kyriakis will play a game with Teresa Donovan, one that could be useful to him push for trustworthiness. Alex has understood that he's infatuated with Teresa, however he wants affirmation that Teresa feels the same way and could get it once they begin playing Truth or Dare. In spite of the fact that Teresa anticipated offering to set things straight for her previous mishaps, she won't confess all to Alex pretty much all the paternity show she's caused for him. Everett Lynch then again just advised Stephanie Johnson that he has an admission to make. Since Everett has seen with his own eyes that Jada Tracker lives in Salem and is companions with Stephanie, he'll have a ton to get off his chest. It seems to be Everett will concede Jada is his ex, so Stephanie ought to go crazy when she understands Everett is the lying, bamboozling ex that Jada yelled about. Since Jada figured out through a monstrous gems charge on the visa charge, that might have been for Stephanie's wedding band. Was Stephanie the other lady while Everett was hitched to Jada? In any case, Days of Our Lives say Stephanie won't be blissful about the manner in which Everett treated Jada. Johnny vs. Stefan, Everett's jail visit, Leo targets Stephanie.